Well, all week we featured a series on the horrors but reality of child sex trafficking across the nation. And tonight we hear from the only resource for victims in Southeast Texas. The need to expand services for child sex trafficking victims is great, but you can help.
This is the main thing that this generation fights, is child sex trafficking. One girl, she met a guy, fell in love with him, and they decided that they were going to meet. And then she got dropped off at school. She went in the front door and out the back door, walked 2 blocks over where he picked her up. He took her cell phone and immediately said, "This is what you're going to do." And he sold her for 5 days. She was found walking down Dallin Road 5 days later. We don't know exactly, I don't know how she was able to get away from him, but she was sold for those 5 days and very traumatized. I'm actually going to training. For child sex trafficking, we are the only resource. Within the last year and a half, we've served about 26 girls. The average girl that gets help is about 2%. So you have to think about all the kids that aren't getting help, all the children that are threatened and they never tell. And then they end up staying and then they're never seen again. Or they're listed as a runaway. We will go out into the community. We work with the Beaumont probation officers, Minnie Rogers Detention Center, Beaumont Police Department, CPS, Family Services, whoever it is that has a call and has a victim that needs an intervention or an education. And we sit down with the girls and we ask them, have you ever heard of sex trafficking? And most of them say no. And then we therefore are able to paint the picture of the lures of sex trafficking, how these boyfriend pimps pull them into it, really educate them on what it looks like. This is the beginning stages. This is the stage around a year, 2 years, 4 years, and in 7 years, they're through with you. You've been used up. You're so diseased that they don't need you anymore. And the life expectancy of a trafficked victim is 7 to 10 years. Child sex trafficking. It is the #2 moneymaker in the entire world. So if we do not educate our children about child sex trafficking, we are leaving them at a disadvantage to fall into something that is so easy to fall into nowadays. They are master manipulators and they are taught how to manipulate your child into this. You get educated first so that you can therefore speak intelligently and say, this is a very real danger in today's society and you are a target. Junior high, 6th graders, prime target, because they're young enough to be vulnerable and to fall for these tactics that these traffickers use. Some of the signs that you can look for are cell phones that your child has that they've been given and you didn't buy them, because that is the main way that they make appointments. Expensive gifts that you didn't buy. Maybe she's gotten her nails done, or maybe she's been to a tanning salon. There are other signs, emotional signs, like a new group of friends that she hasn't hung out with before. People that she doesn't really want to bring around the house, but she wants to go hang out with them. Some behaviors that your child has not exhibited or acted in any certain way before, but they're pushing you away and not wanting you in their business. There's very few safe houses and very few beds, which is one of the biggest problems that we have in the state of Texas. Harvest House is an advocacy program. We need a home. We need to be able to open up beds for child sex trafficking victims. This is something that our community needs desperately, and the state of Texas needs desperately. We need our community to step up and say, I am not going to allow child sex trafficking victims to not have a safe place for rehabilitation and for their lives to begin to be put back together. It's going to take our community to say, we're going to do something about this. We're going to get behind an organization who wants to provide exactly the answers that these children need. We need our state representatives on board. We need our local county commissioners on board, we need our city councilmen on board, and we need the resources of our community to be able to provide this house, to be able to provide the care that they need. And it's going to take the resources of our community, because no one organization can do this by themselves.
You can contact Harvest House if you want to financially support their mission. You can also volunteer, and no effort is too small. Sometimes they need help filling out paperwork. You can find out more on harvesthousebmt.com, and we do have a link in this story on your 12 News Now app. I encourage you as well to share this video on Facebook as well to help get the word out to your friends and family.